I expect all of you I want to speak to you like you're adults, and I think you already know that's haram. I don't have to tell you that. You already know that. And you know Allah has revealed that already. So your conscience is dirty and you know it. You know, there's no beating around that bush. But I do want to tell you some of its consequences. You know, when someone gets married, then they take a responsibility for the other. Allah Azza wa Jal puts them in a responsibility position. And they have to take care of their financial needs, their emotional needs, their learning of the deen, their protection, everything. But when two people are dating, what do they have to take care of? What are they responsible for? Nothing. The only thing they're responsible for is satisfying their own hormones. That's all. And the moment they get bored or tired or, you know, a small fight or dispute breaks out, what happens in dating? You break up. You break up. You say, well, this didn't work. It's like changing not even a toothbrush, because I think toothbrushes last longer. It's like changing chewing gum. I lost the taste of it. Next. And then what happens? One of the two, whoever got dumped, is emotionally very, very disturbed. They're crying in the middle of the night. They're depressed. They're waiting for the text message to come. Please don't, you don't really mean that, do you? And they become so pathetic. Their friends around them, what happened to you, man? You don't know, man. I don't know. She'll come back. I know she'll come back. You know, when she ain't coming back. You know, same thing happens with girls. Girls become suicidal. You know, this really happens. And then when they become scarred emotionally, the next time around, you know what they have in their head? Well, I got scarred last time, so I'm going to make sure I scar somebody else this time. And so over time, they become these ruthless, merciless, almost animalistic people that all they want to do is get their, you know, physical urges out of the way, but they don't even see the other person they're dating as a human being anymore. All they see is a piece of flesh walking around. And when these people get married, you can only imagine what kind of marriages they're going to have. That's why you have people that date each other for 10 years, but they get married after 10 years, and within 2 months they get divorced. And you wonder, how did you last in dating? You know why they lasted? Because there was no responsibility. There was no responsibility. You become broken people. You become, torn individuals. And you don't realize it, because you don't understand that what Allah gives you makes your life easy. And what you're trying to do for yourself only makes your life difficult. It makes you a broken human being. I want to give you, because this is something that addresses both youth and the adults, I'll conclude with this one thing, inshallah ta'ala. There are two things actually. Is it okay if I have 2 things? 10 more minutes? Is that okay with you? Okay, so here's one. This is kind of a hard one to talk about, but it has to be talked about. We don't really have a choice. We are sometimes setting standards for our children that are not realistic. And we never lived Bible standards ourselves when we were young, but we expect our children to be better than us, so we set these standards for them that are humanly almost impossible for them to keep up with, especially in the society in which they live. And an example of that is you have a young man in your house who is of the age that he should be getting married, but you want him to finish med school. Right? So he's 22, 23, 24 years old. You say, no, not until you finish med school. Great. Where does he go to med school? In some madrasa? Does the Shaykh teach him internal medicine? Where does he go to med school? He goes to med school either over here, maybe SMU has a program, I don't know if they do, or he goes to Dominican Republic, or he goes to, whatever. And they go to med school like 18, 16, 20 hours of a day there on college campus, right? What do they see for 16 to 18 hours a day every day? What do they see? What do you think passes through their eyes for 18 hours a day? Do you think they see anything shameless at all? Possibly? Maybe? There's a slight chance they might see something inappropriate. No, I think there's a pretty good chance. And the kinds of things they see, you can't even describe it. Now, they see this how often? Every day? For how many hours? 16, 18 hours a day? For how many years? 6 to 8 years? 7 years? 4 years? 3 years? Even 1 year is bad enough. You think it messes with their head a little bit? Or, no, I'm Muslim, I can't. None of that bothers me. Because you see, I breathe in a different kind of oxygen that allows me not to be tempted. to allows me to constantly keep my gaze low because my parents told me I can't get married until I'm 29. Does that happen? No, it doesn't. These young boys and these young girls become perverts. They become engulfed in themselves. They become addicted to filth on the internet. They start doing these things, hiding from their family, because if the family knew they'd kill them, but they don't know what to do with their emotions. They're of the age to get married. But you say, not until he's a certain age. And when they are at a certain age, and they do get married, do you think the addiction they've developed over the last 6, 7 years is going to disappear overnight? Oh, I'm married now. I don't have any problems anymore. No, no, no. Their problems are just beginning. You just ruined a girl's life, too. You just did. We have to rethink how we are raising our children in this country. Stop pretending that that your children are not exposed to faksha. Stop pretending that. Accept reality around you, and then work with it. I'm not saying the moment your child turns 14, get them married. I'm not saying that either. But I am saying we have to be realistic about the things they're exposed to. We have to be open with our children. We can't put unrealistic expectations on them that, they know they can't live by them, so all they do is they decide to not talk to you about them. They just talk to their friends about them, or they talk to their laptop about them. And they live inside their heads. They're completely disconnected from you. If your teenage boy or girl comes home and you ask them, how was your day? They say, whatever. So, did you hang out with anyone today? Yeah. Who? Somebody. So where are you going later? Oh, someplace. What are you going to do? Something. When they don't give you answers, it's already a sign. There's stuff they don't want to tell you, because if you knew, then you'd be pretty upset. You'd be pretty upset. And you close that door for them of communication. So I'm sincerely giving advice to myself as a parent. I have a 7-year-old now, and I'm terrified. I really am. Because I got 6 years left before she, goes psycho. Teenagers scare me. They scare me. So I'm scared for myself as a parent, and I'm scared for all of you as parents. And at the same time, I'm telling the youth, guys, we have to put responsibility on the parents, but you guys are adults. You're not kids. You're not kids. Act your age. And know you have to stand before Allah, and you're not going to be able to tell Allah, come on, I was in junior high. That was a silly time. You're not going to be able to do that. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you. The final thing I wanted to share with you is on a completely different note. On a completely different note. And it has to do with the news. I think you guys have been watching the news, keeping up with the wonderful things that are happening to Muslims all over the country, and the expansion of Islamic centers and key locations. I want to share this one ayah with you about what Allah wants. And I just want you to think about it. I won't talk about it much. Just want you to ponder over what Allah says. This ayah belongs to Surah Al-Imran. Surah Al-Imran, if you don't know, one half of it deals with the battle of Uhud. One half of the surah, about 60 ayat or so, almost, even as 200 ayat, but a good chunk of the surah is dedicated to the battle of Uhud. Now, Uhud was a victory or a bigger loss? Even though there are some elements of victory there, it was a pretty big loss for the Muslims at the battle of Uhud. 70 of the Kuffar's leaders were killed in Badr, and 70 of the believers were shuhada at Uhud. And even shuhada are not a loss for believers, are they? Even shuhada are people who are direct ticket to paradise, so even that's a victory as far as Allah is concerned. But I want to share with you this ayah. وَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ الَّذِينَ يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْكُفْرِ. Don't let those who are making a lot of efforts to further the cause of disbelief, to further the cause against Islam, don't let them worry, don't let their efforts worry. Don't let the people who are making a lot of efforts to make kufr go further worry. What does Allah say? إِنَّهُمْ لَنْ يَضُرُّوا اللَّهَ شَيْئًا. No doubt about it, they are not the ones who are going to harm Allah in any way, shape, or form. They're not going to harm Allah at all. So you have nothing to worry about. Then what does he say? يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَلَّا يَجْعَلَ لَهُمْ حَظًّا فِي الْآخِرَةِ. Allah intends that they have no portion in the akhirah. I want you to understand this part. Allah will let them make efforts to make kufr, to make disbelief, to make the animosity to Islam go further. Allah will allow them to burn copies of the Quran. Allah will give them that. Why? Because He wants to make sure they get nothing in the akhirah. That's the only reason that Allah will let them do what they're doing. In other words, Allah is allowing them to dig their own hole even deeper. When somebody is digging their own grave deeper, you shouldn't worry. Who are they harming? Themselves. وَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ الَّذِينَ يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْكُفْرِ إِنَّهُمْ لَنْ يَضُرُّوا اللَّهَ شَيْئًا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَلَّا يَجْعَلَ لَهُمْ حَظًّا فِي الْآخِرَةِ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. They, especially they, have enormous punishment. They have great punishment ahead of them. We shouldn't worry about them. We should actually feel sorry for them. The last thing we should be worried about is people who are making efforts in kufr. You know what we should be worried about then? Muslims who are not making efforts for what? For Islam. Don't worry about them making efforts for kufr. Don't give yourself a headache over that. Allah told you, you don't have to get a migraine over that. Allah's got that covered. What do you have to worry about? What you're not doing. What you and I aren't doing. We're not doing our job. Our local library has no programs about Islam. That's a problem. The local high school teachers have not been given an orientation about Muslim community. That's a problem. They don't know who Muslims are. Whose fault is that? That's my fault. It's your fault. The local police department has no idea who the Muslims are and what kind of lives they live. And to give them a sensitivity training. You know? Who's supposed to do that? Who's supposed to educate the people around us? The universities around us. The universities are holding symposia. They're holding seminars on the Sharia and how barbaric it is. And they're having Jewish and atheist professors present the Sharia. And who's supposed to go to them and say, listen, we've got an imam, we've got a scholar who'd like to present at your symposium. We'd like to speak for ourselves. Who's supposed to be contacting National Public Radio and talking to them about, Muslim affairs? There's no Muslim voice being heard. Whose responsibility is that? Don't worry about what they're saying. Worry about what you and I are not saying. That's what we have to worry about. So Allah wants that they have no portion in the akhirah. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَلَّا يَجْعَلَ لَهُمْ حَظًّا فِي الْآخِرَةِ. This is the plan of Allah. He tells us what we should worry about and what we shouldn't worry about. So in the end, my time's up, inshallah. Last thing I share with you is the first thing I shared with you. The question was, what does Allah want? And the first time Allah told us is really the most comprehensive. He says, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah wants ease for you. He does not want difficulty for you. May Allah make this deen easy for us. May Allah make this deen easy for us the way He made this deen easy for Ibrahim alayhi salam, the way He made jumping into a fire easy, and putting a knife to his child easy, and leaving his family to live in the desert easy. If Allah can make those things easy, certainly Allah can make our deen easy for us. So may Allah Azza wa Jalla make our deen easy for us to follow and to adhere to. May Allah Azza wa Jalla accept all of our ibadat. May Allah Azza wa Jalla strengthen our youth and make them see themselves as responsible leaders of the community. May Allah Azza wa Jalla give the younger, the older brothers and older sisters in the community the conviction that they are role models to the younger people in the community around them. That they are role models to them. So the way they speak, the way they act, the way they interact with each other, the way they play basketball, the things they talk about to each other, they keep in mind there's a 12-year-old, 11-year-old, 10-year-old listening, and they want to be just like me. I should present my best. May Allah give that to our youth. May Allah make them strong leaders, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah give our parents the ability to raise children righteously. May Allah give our mothers the strength to control the environment in the home and to make it a healthy environment for a sound Muslim family to be raised. May Allah make the fathers of our community good fathers. Fathers that talk to their children, raise their children, don't instill fear into them, but instill respect and love into them. May Allah Azza wa Jalla make these fathers like in accordance with the sunnah of the beloved Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah make our imams, protect our imams first of all, and second of all, may Allah give our imams the strength to be able to guide our communities, to counsel our communities, to lead our communities, and to actually be able to understand the problems of our community and to address them effectively. And finally, I sincerely make dua for all the masajid and the communities across this country. May Allah give our masajid the ability to be beacons of da'wah, to be places where they are not trying to defend themselves, they are trying to defend Allah's deen. May Allah make us those people. That we defend